back and relax and enjoy another episode of J&C Fix and Play.
Thanks for stopping by, everyone. So today we have a video on the Gameboy Advance SP, and this particular video is part one of the project. So I'm basically just doing the simple AGS 101 mod over to a traditional Game Boy Advance. So this was probably one of the best screens prior to the the Switch, the 3DS, and all that stuff. But this is one of the best screens that Nintendo ever made in one of the prior version of the Game Boys, and I apologize for the camera not focusing, but as you can see by the model number, this is the AGS 101. So in this video today, what we're going to do is we're going to just simply remove the screen from the original casing and motherboard, and then in the step 2, what we're going to end up doing is just taking that screen and transplanting it to a traditional Game Boy Advance. So first step, very simple, grab a Phillips head and we're just going to pop the battery out. One screw takes it right off, and just like every other Nintendo Game Boy system out there, what we need to do is use a tri-wing screwdriver to get these systems apart. So let's get the tri-wing, let's do that. Alright, so we have the battery out, you got your tri-wing screwdriver. This is very simple, and we're just going to go ahead and pop out the screws. You got one right over here by the cartridge slot. Okay, and then as you can see, we have basically the 4 corners, so we'll start with this one. There we go. Move on to the second corner. Alright. Number 3. And this is relatively easy. I think the system itself just looks more complicated than it really is. Let's just get this 4th one out. Alright, and then we got the one underneath the battery. Okay. Did not take that out far enough. There we go. Move that to the side, and carefully, don't force anything, just pull the back off. There we go. And just like that, we are ready to move on to the next step. And for this, you are going to go back to the Phillips. So with the Phillips, and at this point you probably took out all your buttons, 3 screws. You got the one right here, dead center of the board. And then there's 2 underneath that center portion there. So just pop those out. 2 and 3. Alright, with that said, now this part you got to be careful. You don't want to do anything to damage the ribbon cable, because if you damage it, this screen is shot and you're not going to be able to do your mod. So you can just get rid of all the little buttons and touch pads here. And just like any of the other consoles that Nintendo has ever made, there's 2 little clips here. You want to push these up. Once again, I apologize for the camera, but push the just push those 2 black clips up, and then once you do that, you should be able to gently remove the ribbon cable from the circuit board, and then we are done with this part. Gentle, there we go. So you don't need that anymore. Toss that to the side. You can put all these to the side. There you go. Alright, let's move on. Okay, so I'm going to switch back here, and I'm going to use a flathead for this. There's actually screws underneath which hold the two clamshell pieces for the top screen together. So I'm going to take my flathead here, and I'm going to pry these off. And they're almost like a, I don't know, 3M adhesive, whatever you want to call it. So don't be alarmed, just, you don't want to push or flex the screen because you don't want it to crack. But you just kind of want to take the Phillips, get it started, and then just pull it off just like that. So we're going to do that for all 5 of the spots, and then we'll be able to disassemble the top half of the console. Okay, so now you're going to go back to your Phillips, and we're just going to take out all these screws. And once again, this is very simple. It looks intimidating to some, possibly, but you know, the big thing is just to watch the pressure and where you're pushing down on that top of the screen. You don't want to damage that, because literally this is one of the best screens I think Nintendo ever made, and you know, it's not available anymore. So, but once you pop out those screws, let's just keep going here. But once we get these screws out, we should just be able to just remove the top. There we go. Now when you get to this part, what you want to do is close the pieces together, just like I did, and underneath on the bottom here, try to move this ribbon cable out of the way. Don't pull the cable through. Just try to move it out of the way so you can't damage it. Go back to your Phillips, and right there is another screw. And all we're going to do is just remove that screw, and then you'll be able to take that cable out with no risk of damage. There we go. And what this cable does, I apologize. What this screw does is remove part of the hinge, and there you go. So now it's out. So that's it. Your screen is now out, and you know, we're ready to go on to the next step, and that's going to be another video. The part that says Game Boy Advance on the screen, this is actually a screen protector, so don't worry if that part is damaged, because you can remove that. You know, so pay attention if you guys want to my videos, because I'll have a full AGS 101 mod video coming up. It's just, I've been trying to do one. I've had a hard time trying to find an actual screen to do it, but I was able to find this one. So hit that subscribe button if you guys want to see the second part, or if you want to see more videos. Go have some fun, play some games, leave a question in the comments, and I'll try to answer them. Have a good one, everyone. Enjoy.